Yo, what is good, boys? Welcome back to Cree Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Ecclesiastes 10:17, and that says, "Eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness." Right, so this goes for consumption of food, drinks, even stuff on the internet. Okay, we must consume things, right, for the nourishment of our body, to improve ourselves, right, to continue to strengthen us, not to become drunk off of it. And I'm not talking about, drunk off of alcohol. Yes, that is considered what it's talking about, but it's also talking about food, right? Gluttony is a sin. Okay, so we must not overindulge into things. So, people think that being, super into food, that they're overweight. I'm not saying that all overweight people, that's their problem. Yes, they can fix that, but a lot of times, they eat and eat and eat and eat. Okay, and there's an issue with that because again, that leads to gluttony, right? They're not seeking out God first, right? They're looking for, comfort, right, by eating more and more, right, overindulging into something. And God always talks about how that is bad, whether that again is alcohol, whether that is, weed, whether that is drugs, right? Indulging in stuff like that is not good for us. We already know that. That is not continuously, right, pleasing, I guess you would say, God, right? This is our temple, right? This is our body, and we must respect it. We must have these foods, have these healthy foods. We must consume to an extent, right, to help us, to continue to keep us alive, but not to overindulge into something. And again, this is not just goes into food or drinks. This goes into everything. We must not overindulge in the pleasures of life, right, and all these different things that God has given to us, because God wants us to focus on Him solely and not find our comfort through these different things like food, through, videos online, through this and through that. We must seek Him first, and that is where true comfort and true peace is found, right? Not in over-consuming these things. So, the moment that I began to focus on my diet, focus on eating really, really healthy. As many of y'all may know, I've been working out for over 5-6 years now, since I was in 8th grade, towards the end of 8th grade. So it's been a while. But it was more of the food that I struggled with, right? And, I would just eat Hot Pockets. I would eat Hot Pockets all the time, Pop-Tarts, candy all the time, any moment I got. I would just eat a lot of these different terrible foods for me. And I felt guilty. After a while, I felt guilty after eating it. And that's just a sign. That was just a sign for me to just quit. Again, because I was focusing so much on my, short-term pleasures of eating those foods. And after just feeling terrible, to the point where I'm just eating completely healthy now. Yes, every now and then, obviously not now because I'm doing 75 hard, but, a few months ago, I would eat every now and then some snacks or whatever. But for the majority of the time, I keep myself healthy, right? I don't overindulge in these different, I guess you would say, pleasures, right? These, candy or whatever. I try to keep my temple healthy, right? And, we only have one body, right? God has only given us one body, so why not keep it healthy and keep it clean, right? So when you're able to completely attach, or, detach yourself from, the lusts of all these different worldly things, and solely focus on God Himself, right? And knowing that comfort is not found in overindulgence of any of these worldly things, all this, fleshly things, right? But instead of focusing on Him, that is what's going to bring us true peace in this life. So appreciate y'all boys for listening today. If y'all want to join the Discord, that will be left down in the description. Other than that, this week's going to be a banger week. We're going to do pretty good, hopefully, Lord willing. But other than that, praying for y'all boys, hoping the best for y'all boys, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.